I mean, who knew? Rusty was the starter. Rusty was the starter.
You've been practicing push-ups?
Would have had to play quarterback the whole time. Who would have thought that?
Who would have thought? Because Rusty was sure named the starter. And Mike, and you know what's killer, Pay? Mike Tomlin's sticking to it. He's still saying that Rusty's the starter. And Rusty ain't started no games. I mean, I can say that off camera or on camera, whatever. But Rusty ain't started no games. Why? And he's still saying he's a starter.
Why would you say that off camera? We're on camera right now. Why would you have to say that off camera?
I would say it on camera and off camera. It's horrible because I don't want people to just misscrew my what I'm saying and how people talk about I'm hyperbolic with this and that. I ain't saying all that. I'm just saying that you got to take a real good look in the mirror about what's going on in the state of the Steelers. And some of this, and Tomlin is culpable with some of the stuff that's happening with Pittsburgh. Now, on the other hand, the ones that say I'm hyperbolic would say, "See, I told you, G, we need to fire Tomlin." You done lost your damn mind if you think you're gonna fire Mike Tomlin. You've lost your mind. So you need to stop being all like that because you're really a hater. Same difference why a lot of people hate on Justin because they're haters. It's not because I'm hyperbolic. They're just flat out haters. There's people on this earth that's like that. They haters. Haters.
I found all my years, Big G, Pittsburgh Steelers fans are as fickle as anybody.
That's facts. That's big facts, Tate. Yeah, they be so quick to talk about fire Tomlin. We're not doing this and not doing that. But when we win, they all on the bandwagon. And got nerve enough to say I'm hyperbolic. No. When I say somebody's playing trash, I stand on it 10 toes down. And I mean it. Can they change? Absolutely. But I'm standing on business with mine. And that's to anybody who's out there in Steel Curtain Network. I'm telling you right now, I stand on mine. See, because hyperbolic means you a coward. There ain't no coward in me at all. Zero.
I'm not sure I know
that's not word.
He's being a coward, but okay.
That's what y'all don't know. There was something going on in the live chat. The dude was talking catch. Oh, I know that, Pay. I totally know that. But that's what some dude was trying to say in the homie show. So I'm calling him out for what he is, and he knows who he is. I hope he jumps in the live chat over here so I can get him.
Hey, man. All right. B-Dirt, man. Get the train back on the track, B-Dirt.
Listen, man, I was just trying to see how many times Big G was going to try to keep up with the times with his new sayings and whatnot. I was running with it. I was like, man, I didn't hear none of that in the 90s. I don't know what he's talking about. But welcome to the Homies Overtime. I, B-Dirt, Brandon Harriet, will be hosting today's show. And, we got all the homies here. We got Pay live from the airport. We got Tate and G from the crib. But we're going to talk about a lot of sports. We got a lot going on right now, man. We're in the middle of 58 straight days of football. We got WNBA Finals. We got baseball division series right now. We had a hockey start. Like, we got a lot going on, fellas. But I want to get into baseball because I took a lot of poking some fun at this year, a lot of jests and a lot of here and there, but only one of us got a team playing.
Facts.
Tomorrow, I mean, Tate's going to root against my team because,
that's a hater.
Adopted son. He always, he does. Listen, he tried to root for the Ohio teams last year to both get the World Series, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But the Yankees and Mets have already clinched their position in the championship round. And tonight, right now, we've got the Dodgers and the Padres playing. Yamamoto and Darvish are the pitchers for that game. And then tomorrow, they move the Tigers and Guardians game up.
Mm-hmm.
Worried about weather, this, that, and the other. I don't know what's going on 2 hours and 15 minutes west of me, but it's going to be 74 and sunny here in Pittsburgh tomorrow, so I don't know what they're moving it up for.
Severe thunderstorm warning.
Is that a night game anymore?
No, it's a 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, severe thunderstorms is supposed to kick in, be somewhere around 4:30, 5 o'clock for that whole little Michigan, anything north of Toledo. So, and some of it could actually come down here where I'm at in Ohio. So, but anything north, they're supposed to have severe thunderstorms up that way.
Hey,
Yes, so they moved that bad boy to a 108 game.
Game is in Cleveland, Big G.
Yep.
It's all the way across. Everything Toledo across.
Yeah, okay. Well, you said north, like where I'm at. I'm thinking like, did you think in Detroit? Well, okay.
So we got Scooball versus Boyd in that game.
Scooball's a beast.
Beast.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Probably your American Cy Young Award winner. 18-4, led the league in strikeouts.
Probably the two best pitchers in the American League are in that game with Scooball and Clave. What's his name? The closer of Cleveland? Clave, yeah.
So Clave gave up 5 earned runs the entire year. He's given up 4 this series against the Tigers.
But B Dirt, when he came in night before last with second and third and 1 out, and he got those 2 outs. That was big. Mm-hmm. He did go up a run tonight, but they had got a secure pushing run when they were up in the
on a suicide squeeze.
On a suicide squeeze.
Don't see that very often. A little small ball,
but getting those 2 outs in the 8th, with 2 men on base and 1 out, that was huge. But B Dirt, my question to you was, man, how much money you think baseball loses by having to switch from night to day?
You know what? Tomorrow night, probably not much. So when you look at avid sports fans, right? I think all 3 of us would qualify there. I'm more likely to stay glued to that at 1 o'clock with the slate of games that's on at 1 than fighting time for the college football games that are on at 7:30 and 8.
Okay.
And you look at it this way too. Those Cleveland Guardians, a lot of those fans going to be rooting for one of those teams at 7:30. Right? So I think you're going to get some undivided attention from the Ohio fans that you would have been split attention on.
Right.
So
I agree.
I think in that rare instance, it might be a win for Major League Baseball.
But Ohio State plays Oregon at that time, right?
Correctamundo.
Okay.
Correctamundo.
But at 12, well, I'll be flipping anyway. That's all I was doing last night, man, is flipping between both baseball games, the Seahawks, 49ers, and the WNBA final. I was flipping all over the place.
Here's the only thing that upsets me about the streaming aspect of things now, right? I have to get out of YouTube TV to go over in sources to Prime to go back and forth with that. I can't just lateral. Like somebody's got to invent a TV that I can just lateral previous source and go straight to that game.
I agree with you there. That is
Samsung, if you're listening, get on that.
That is a thing.
But yeah, it's a little bit of a pain. But other than that, man, I'm good with the way everything's set up now.
Oh, you have any interest in seeing another Subway series?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm rooting for the Tigers. I always root for the Tigers. But let's be honest, right now we're playing with house money already. So anywhere we get from where we're at, I'm happy with. I'm happy to be where we're at. So I'm good with whatever happens. But I kind of like the Padres because I like that flash and that style and the brashness they play with. But the Mets seem like a little bit of a team of destiny. And I think if you have that Subway series, you're going to have some. I mean, it's going to capture the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll probably be one of the highest ranked World Series ever. If the Mets play the Yankees, oh my God, it's must see TV.
See, I think the Yankees get in. I can make a case for any of these 3 teams being a really good draw with the Yankees, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that like the Guardians and the Padres are the kind of draw that the Yankees versus any of the three would be.
Facts.
What's bigger? Yankees, Mets, Yankees, Dodgers.
You know, well, obviously you go West Coast, East Coast. You go and having both time zones, I think helps overall.
TV money for sure.
So I would say that would probably be the best case scenario. But the Subway Series is cool, man. It always has been.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm calling right now all Ohio Series next year. Finally gonna get it.
It ain't gonna happen, Tate.
Third time's a charm. Is that what you're going for?
Third time's a charm.
It ain't gonna happen.
It ain't
gonna happen.
I like it. All right. I do want to dabble a little bit more in NFL football. And that Jets firing of Salah. Like, just what's your take on it, man? Like, Big G, is this a good move, a bad move?
It was a horrible move. It was a horrible move. It was a horrible move. That coach was fired for one reason and one reason only. His relationship with the quarterback that Payday hates the most, Aaron Rodgers. His relationship with Rodgers is the reason why he was canned. Listen, do you know that he was making changes? So he had already told Daniel Hackett a few minutes before they fired him that he was taking play calling duties from him because he was saying that the guy was calling plays that Rodgers wanted versus what the defense was giving him. That literally happened. You could Google search it, right? And so what happens? A few minutes later, the owner goes in and fires him? Stop that. Who made that phone call? Oh, I know who did. Rodgers did. Rodgers made that phone call through ownership and all whatever else they had.
Well, Johnson even said that he met with Johnson even said that he met with Aaron beforehand, but did not talk to him about it.
Come on, man. That's straight up cap. We know how this thing works. There was a conversation that happened between them two. The owner felt confident to buy into what Aaron Rodgers, because really the Silas went in there to tell the OC, stop calling all them pass plays for Aaron Rodgers. Give the ball to where our strength is and the two running backs we have. Stop doing that. Aaron's forcing the game. And so the OC was so scared, he was petrified getting punked by Rodgers. So he was like, okay, but I'm not doing that. And then he said, okay, I'm taking play calling duties from you. That's what happened.
That didn't even happen that way. Hackett still had play calling duties and didn't get taken away from him until after the coaching decision was made.
No, it was five. No, the coach met with Hackett 5 minutes before he got fired. It's documented. Google it. Check it out. I read the whole story today. He met with him 5 minutes before, and he fired him. He told him, I'm taking play calling duties away from you. You don't have play calling duties no more. There was a call made. So what he did is he called Rodgers, and him and Rodgers called the owner, and the owner said, oh, yeah, I'm going to show you who's the big dog in town, and walked right in there and fired that dude. And
so is Hackett back making play calls?
Yeah, of course he is. Hackett's probably going to be the interim. No, he's not.
I don't think he is either. Pay, what have you heard?
No, it's the other guy.
So that's a fine for me. So what happened was Nathaniel Hackett sucks. And it's a provable fact at this point, right?
That's big facts.
Aaron Rodgers went ahead and got Nathaniel Hackett hired. And they were all saying, like, hey, this guy, he might be trash. But Aaron Rodgers has so much power in that building, he gets what he wants. He gets all his receiver buddies. He gets all the speculation that Devontae Adams is coming there. And he gets to hire an offensive coordinator, handpicked, who doesn't deserve an offensive coordinator job. And as seen, that offense is trash. You can't have a bad offensive coordinator and a washed quarterback. Those two things are not going to give you much success. So since you can't get rid of the washed quarterback, Saleh said, you know what, I'm gonna take your play calling duties away because this is an abomination. Which the head coach, who's supposed to be the boss of the thing, he overstepped his boundary. You can't overstep Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers said that's enough. Me and him don't see eye to eye, and this is the last straw.
Trash.
Woody Johnson made it.
Trash.
Very trash. Very great.
Jeff Ulbrich is the intern coach.
That's correct. So
correct.
So then, once Saleh was relieved of his duties, as he said, they named Ulbrich the interim coach, but they also said, Hackett, you still can't call plays. You still can stay, keep your job, which he should not. He should be fired along with Saleh, but because Aaron Rodgers and him, they like each other, he continued to draw a paycheck, which, again, should not be.
Hey, I bet you that's the first take. I agree 150% with everything you said. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Aaron Rodgers is about to ruin the Jets. He's about to ruin them. He's about to ruin them.
About to? Well, you don't have to do much to ruin the Jets. I mean, I called it all off season. He is a cancer to that locker room. The dude said, hey, mandatory camp does not extend to me. I don't have to be there. You guys can go. I have to be there. And when he got fined, he went on Pat McAfee and cried about it. That's not a leader. That's not that's how you get to the Super Bowl. Trash.
Yeah, total trash. I'm with you.
The problem I have with it, with the situation, right, is his business. Aaron Rodgers' business is his body and his arm and what he can do with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're trying to get the best out of your situation, any situation, you're trying to get the best out of a business, you're trying to get the best out of anything, you don't surround yourself with yes men.
Facts.
And Aaron Rodgers is trying to make it so he's surrounded by nothing but yes man, and it's doing a disservice to his entire team. And for him not to have the awareness to realize that at his age is unfortunate. Tate, what's your take on the situation? Do you think Saleh should have been fired? Do you think the placating to a quarterback that's on a dead end contract here after this year is worth it for the Jets to do all this placating for this one partial season?
I think it's definitely placating to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers runs the Jets behind Woody Johnson. Woody Johnson is Aaron Rodgers. Not no GM, not no coach, not no other executives. Woody Johnson, Aaron Rodgers. Thing is, Aaron Rodgers hasn't been that good on the field at all.
Facts.
He's not the guy that he was 2 or 3 years ago that could command that, like, oh, well, Aaron said this and we know he's going to take us to the playoffs and he's going to be MVP and all that stuff. It's not that guy. The Jets have put themselves in a deeper hole by firing Robert Saleh, who I think was a good coach.
He is.
He's never had a quarterback. Zach Wilson, the end of Sam Darnold, I believe, and Aaron Rodgers now. Watched Aaron Rodgers. The best part about the Jets team was their defense. Mm-hmm. And Robert Saleh is a defensive guy. He's the defensive guy. I mean, so you fire him, keep Aaron Rodgers, who hasn't been playing good, and keep his buddy, Nathaniel Hackett, who we know is, as Big G would say, big trash, big dumpster juice.
He's trash.
And yeah, man, I think the Jets they were in trouble anyway. You know what I mean? The Bills are gonna run away this division now. I mean, because the Dolphins aren't going to come back anytime soon. The Patriots know what they are. And the Jets essentially just took themselves out of it.
Yep. And they sold the farm.
I think literally they're putting all their onus right now on, to me, will the offensive play calling make enough difference. I don't think it's Salah that's going to make the difference, whether he's there or not there, comparatively speaking, to no longer having Hackett call the plays and have somebody else. Will they get back to running the ball? Because they do have formidable running backs. Pay, what you got?
Last thing I had on this, Aaron Rodgers, he thinks he's LeBron. He can't bring all his homies with him and still win and be dominant. He's not. He's just a guy, a JAG. Get him out of here.
That's
total. Jag.
Did you see how many times listen, they had the ball inside the 5-yard line 3 times this last game, and he forced the ball to Lazard every time. He forced it to Lazard and I'm like, you got the 2 best 1-2 combo running back in the league. Give one of them the ball. What are you doing? That's Rodgers with that mess. That's trash. Total trash. And he got that. And listen, Robert Saleh, and listen, we got a spot for you as the DC for the Steelers. Come on, dog. We got a spot for you. Come on over. Come on over. Swallow your pride. Come on over. We got a spot for you, dog.
I gotta be honest with you. I think we're gonna have a defensive coordinator position open a little farther down the Ohio River pretty soon. The way it's looking.
Big facts.
But I digress.
I'll take Saleh today over Austin. Today.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Listen, this is a good spot for us to take our first break. For those of you that are listening on podcast, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give us a 5-star rating too. Don't slip on that. That helps us out a lot, boosting up those algorithms for us. So if you want to leave a comment on here, 5-star review, hit that like button, share us, tell a friend to tell a friend about us, and build those numbers up. We greatly appreciate you rocking with us every week. We'll be right back after a word from our partners. All right, welcome back. I just got to say something, Pay. I will never not hear the JAG and not think about Steve Smith and Jerry Jeudy have a little smile on my face. It was just, man, what a great moment in sports.
Listen, the Jets just can never win a game with Sam Bradford playing quarterback. That's just it. Facts. If Sam Bradford's playing quarterback, the Jets are losing.
That's great. All right, let's get into we do have some finals going on. And I do want to tell you, there was a moment last night. I went over at halftime, watching a little bit of the fourth quarter of the Lynx and the Liberty. Yes. And I've been rooting for Liberty. I called Liberty out before we were in the playoffs. That's who I called out. And Pay called the Lynx out. And this is like 3 minutes, I'm about 4 minutes and something left. And they hit a 3 and go up by like 11. And I'm hitting Pay with the, I picked my phone up. And I'm going to hit Pay with the, look like I'm going to get those Lynx. And I was like, nah, I don't know what he's doing. I'm just going to leave it alone. I threw it back down. I went over and watched football. And then the score came up on my ticker and I about crapped. I was like, what I miss? A great comeback, fueled by the guards too. 2 guards in totally 2 different fashions, combined for 45 points. Williams with her quickness, and then McBride. The last I saw was 4 out of 6 from 3. Hitting it from outside. So the Lynx come back from an 18-point second half deficit, the largest in WNBA history. And win a really exciting finals game. Pay, I'm going to throw it straight to you. Lynx are your team. You called them out. What was your take on this game?
Simple as this. The Lynx, they're on their way to become the greatest franchise in league history. Courtney Williams, Katie McBuckets, that's what I call her. Best 3-point shooter in the league. You're right. I don't think it's pretty bold at all. I think she led the league in 3-point shooting this season. She was most of the season she was shooting 47% from three. That's not a bold take at all. I mean that's hard data. You're right. They spearheaded the comeback along with the MVP playing some stout defense down the stretch. But I can't just prop up the Lynx as they didn't have any help in this. Brianna Stewart choked. Simple as that. The former MVP, 2-time champion, she choked. She missed a crucial free throw. She had a turnover, a terrible turnover, and it was all she wrote from that point. Kaden Buckets had a 4-point play that sent the game to OT.
And missed the bunny.
Yeah, had a layup at the end of overtime.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She'll be better. She's a dog. She's one of the greatest players of all time. She'll be better. Lynx will be ready. They stole one I was going to say the Garden, but they don't play in the Garden. They stole one in the Big Apple.
Yeah. Tate, what did you think about the game?
I told you, man, I was flipping from baseball game. Was it last night? Was the Detroit and the Guardians and the Yankees and the Royals. So I was flipping, make some Monday night football, Thursday night football in there, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the game, so there was a point where I thought the Liberty had it completely under control.
Same thing happened to me.
and I turned it back, and it was 84-84 to end of regulation. I was like, wow, they came back. So I just watched it there to the end of the game. Brianna Stewart, as Pace said, did have some tough stretches down the stretch, some tough times down the stretch. And like you said, B-Dirt, I mean, she had an opportunity to send it to a second overtime with a layup right at the basket and went Patrick Ewing circa 1994 against the Indiana Pacers, right? Who was that, Big G? Oof. When Ewing missed the bunny?
Yeah. Ewing missed
that was not five.
Yeah, it was Chicago Bulls.
Okay.
Chicago Bulls. Yeah.
Against the Bulls.
The Knicks went to the finals in '94, so it was '95 when they lost to the Pacers by he jagged a finger roll.
Yeah, but he did the same thing against the Bulls in Game 6. He did the same thing, and then Charles Smith missed 2 bunnies in a row, and there was another bunny, and all trash.
Well, I don't have the same expectation of Charles Smith as I do Patrick Ewing or I do Brianna Stewart. So hence, both New York basketball icons during their time, and they both were unable to hit a relatively easy shot of bunny and send whichever direction needed to go. The thing is, if either one of them haven't made either one of those shots 30 years apart, they wouldn't have lost those particular games.
Facts. That's facts.
I still thought most of the game, I still think Liberty had I thought they had the better team most of the game. And there was just some real hot stretches where they choked and whatever. I still have confidence in them and the Liberty to come back and actually win this. It's going to be a 5-game series now, but I think they still can pull it off. It's going to be a great series, I think. I really do.
Make no doubts about it. The Liberty is a super team. They are, on paper, should win this series in 5. You know? They shouldn't struggle with the Lynx. Well, let me not say that, because the Lynx are the best 3-point shooting team and the best defensive team in the league. But the Liberty, again, they're a super team. They should win this series. You're right, D. They look like the better team for majority of that game. It's just the heart of a champion. Shout out to Rudy T. Heart of a champion. Never count them out.
B-Dirt, guess what happened while you was gone?
What's that?
Payday blessed me in as a Lynx fan.
Oh no!
He blessed me in. He blessed me in. He did. He said I could get in because I said I didn't have a WNBA team. He said, "Pay, you did. You said I could join the crowd. I don't have a WNBA team. Listen, I'm in.
Yeah, you're on the bandwagon. You good. You're stamped up. You're stamped on the wagon. Yeah, just don't rock the boat. Just don't rock the boat.
I'm not rocking the boat. I just want to go along for the ride. I'm with them. Listen, I declared a WNBA team for the first time. I'm dealing with the Lynx. That's my squad. I'm dealing with them.
You're closer to the shock, buddy.
Yeah, listen, I've never had a WNBA team. I've watched it, but hey,
good pull.
I like the Lynx, man. The Lynx is boss. They're a boss team, man.
Listen, it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. Big G, my question to you is not about the game. It's something that Pay and I were talking off air about. In the WNBA, can you have a gentleman's sweep, or does it have to be named something else? Is it, I don't know, the Miss Congeniality sweep? Is it what's your take on that?
I mean, why could you not call it a gentleman's sweep? It's still this, or you could call it a lady sweep. You could call it
gentle lady sweep.
You could, no, you ain't got to put gentle in it at all. You can say it's a lady sweep. 3-1, you up out of there. You know, or you gone. So yeah, absolutely. You don't have to necessarily call it. It's not got to be termed or deemed, and it doesn't have to necessarily switch because it's a lady sport. It's just, people be on that.
But that differentiates a 3-1 versus a 3-0. How do you differentiate? That's the gentleman's sweep, right? That's when the other team wins one game, right?
Yeah. That's so you call it a lady sweep on it. It doesn't matter.
Okay,
it's the same thing. It's the same thing to me.
All right,
but whatever you want to call it,
chat fam. If you got better name for it,
you're not playing the game, right? But you got to move on. You're not playing the game. Right?
Well, hey, chat
I'm
fam.
not going for the okie doke, buddy.
If you guys have better ideas over there in the chat room for what the WNBA gentleman's sweep should be called, go ahead, put your suggestions in the comments. All right, let's go on. I do have one more football thing to talk about. A little bit less about the game, a little bit more about the violence of the game. The NFL came out and said that the Buffalo Bills handled last week's concussion protocol correctly with Josh Allen. For those of you who didn't see it, Josh Allen laid on the turf after hitting the back of his head on the turf, still motionless. He did a little bit of a flex with his hands, got stiff, and then kind of got his bearings back to him, got off to the sidelines. There is got stiff. I mean, that's what happened, but we'll be children about it. And then he got to the sideline, and then he got smelling salt from one of the coaches before he goes in and takes his concussion protocol test. And the NFL evidently thinks that that's the way you should handle the protocol. Agree or disagree, Big G?
Totally disagree. That is the whole thing behind CTE. I played college football long enough ago where I got hit with smelling salts a whole bunch of times, and I shouldn't have played. My brain was going bananas. I've had 4 concussions cited when I played in college. 4. What I'm talking about, I shouldn't have played, and I kept playing. Smelling salts. What's your mom's name? What date are we in? Count backwards from 10. Okay, he's ready to go. That's not player safety. Player safety is you take the ability of the player or the coach to make the determination, and you put it in the hands of the doctors. That's player safety. So the NFL did the right thing because sometimes players don't know how to stop themselves and keep themselves from getting hurt. And sometimes coaches just don't give a damn because they want to win and they know their job's on the line.
They put them right back out there.
That's right. They sure did. And they shouldn't have. Shouldn't have. You follow player safety, player protocol, and rightfully so, because these guys are more protected now than ever. Look at the helmets designs and all the other things that they have to try to protect them. If he laid motionless on the field, his bell was wrong. He was out of there, bro. He was out of there.
I mean, it looked like he was unconscious to me, but from the view of the TV cameras, but you can't tell what's going on. He could be sitting there motionless, yelling about the pick. I don't know, but it didn't look that way to me on tape. Pay. What was your take on it, man? I feel like, in my view too, because of who it was treated a little bit differently than maybe it would have with some other people. And I don't think that's the way you should do it. Large man can get a concussion just as much as a small man.
Facts.
What's your take on it?
I agree with AFL 67 in the comments. Yes, now we understand where G gets his takes from.
Put him in the matrix. Put him in the matrix right now. Put him in the matrix state right now.
I'm doubling down on the take. It's not my original take. I shot it out.
Will you take
I
AFL?
I don't want credit for it, but but here's the thing. I saw Tua fans echoing the same comments. Like, why is the conversation around Tua so different from what's going on with Josh Allen? He was knocked out. I mean, pretty noticeably. He convulsed a little bit, maybe not to the extent that Tua did, but no one's saying that he needs to retire. No one's doing all the hoopla for him. In fact, he needs to go in the blue tent. They swept this one under the rug as if we didn't see what we just saw. So yeah, I agree. This is why the NFL owes all those billions of dollars, because they're not doing what they should do to protect the long-term health of their players.
Absolutely.
If Josh Allen was actually concussed, then the protocol should have been followed to the letter of the T, whether that's Josh Allen or Brock Purdy, the last man drafted for the team or for the league. All rules should be followed. Any hard hit or anything that even looks like somebody might be spazzed or failed or the Tweety birds flying around their head, hey, take them out the game, go check them out, get a full neurological workup, and make sure. Because if you can save one brain cell, that's worth it.
Facts. Total facts.
And listen, I want to be very clear with everybody listening right now. Concussions and brain injuries and CTE are not something to joke about, but Big G is. Okay?
No, not.
Well, I want everybody to know where my joke was towards. Don't make any mistake about it. All right, well, let's take our second quick break here before we get into a vaunted run in college football. We're going to get into that next after we hear from our sponsors. Here for a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back here to the Homies Overtime. We got some messages here from Big G and Pay real quick. Gentlemen, take it away.
Pay, what's your message?
I think it has to do with your sign.
Oh, Pay, go ahead. It's algorithm time, man. You know what to do. If they don't do, what do they got to do?
Oh, listen, everybody, thanks for showing up on this Friday, middle of October, Friday before it's a holiday on Monday, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Columbus Day. You got a long weekend. Thanks for starting your weekend off by watching the Homies. And because we appreciate you, we'll give you one last chance to go ahead and like this video, share this video. You've already commented, so we appreciate that. But go ahead and do those last two steps. And because we're so generous and we appreciate you showing up and watching, we won't send you a flaming bag of Cleveland Browns jerseys and leave it on your porch. We won't do that to you. We don't want to disrespect you because we love you. You're our homies, so we're gonna treat you with respect. But go ahead and do those two things. Thanks.
All right. Get those algorithms up. We appreciate you guys rocking with us. Before we get into the slate of games that I want to talk about over the next few weeks, we did have in the earlier Homies session a question, a super chat, two-parter And we bumped the second part of that question for Danny Littlejohn into this homies overtime, which is what is Texas going to do about Arch Manning? Big G, you Level Up podcast, college football expert.
Yeah.
What's your take on Arch Manning? And the word on the street is he gonna be number 2.
That is facts. Quinn Ewers has been deemed the starter for the Oklahoma Red River Shootout, Red River game, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be played against Texas and Oklahoma. Personally, I feel that Steve Sarkisian is making the biggest mistake of his life. I believe that as a coach, even though Ewers has not – so listen, players lose their jobs a lot because of injury, but players should also lose their job by performance on the field. Arch Manning makes the Texas Longhorns probably the scariest team in all college football. The kid runs 21 miles an hour, right? I saw him break away in a game, and he was at 20. He was clocked at 21.5 or 21.6. Y'all, that's a sub 4. That's a 4.340, right? He's super fast. And he's got a way stronger arm than Quinn Ewers. He can, when I'm telling you, he can throw that deep pass. He can throw that deep pass. So this is the dilemma. They're a heavy favorite against Oklahoma. I've watched the Red River Shootout faithfully since 2004. Like I watched that, like I watched the game between Ohio State and Michigan, just because I lived in Austin for a few years. And I got to see what Longhorn fans was talking about. Every time, except for one in the last 10 years, that Texas has been favored by that much, Oklahoma wins. Texas blew them out one time. They dusted them. When it was like 50-something to 14, they smoked them. This ain't it, y'all. I've been saying on every podcast I'm on that the game's going to be close. And I feel that if the game is 14-10, like that, messing around, and Ewers has a big turnover, he's going to turn to Arch, which that's setting Arch up to be the savior. And Ewers is done at that point. So I would have stuck with Arch and let the kid get his lumps, let him learn what he needs to learn. And if he prevails, hey, we rolling with you into Georgia. But to go back to Ewers, who hasn't played, I don't know, man. And B-Dirt, me and you saw Ewers in person. So, you know, we know what he looked like.
Dink and dunk. He sure did.
Dink and dunk king.
Do you think there was enough to see from playing Mississippi State for Arch? Is that a high enough level of competition for you to be confident making that switch over?
Well, he started 3 games. So
yeah, he played St. Mary's School of the Blind, and
yeah. He started 3 games.
He played one SEC team.
Right, but he's got to learn. So listen, there's no doubt in my mind that when Arch Manning is eligible, he will be the number 1 player taken in the draft. I don't know if Quinn Ewers is a first-round draft pick. So that's the difference in this.
So the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde argument here, right, is Texas is ranked number 1 in the country.
Mm-hmm.
You have a young quarterback making his first 3 starts against subpar level competition. Ewers has played against really good competition in hostile environments. So when you play Oklahoma and Dallas, and then you back that up with Georgia the following week, you know, there's an understanding of why they would do a little bit of the safer play, if you would, of going with somebody that's a little more battle tested. Tate, what would you have done? Would you have stuck with Ewers, or would you have went with the upside, I guess, of Arch Manning?
Well, this is me personally, I think this is another one of Big G's hyperbolic takes, because me and Ma was telling him on the know-it-alls a few weeks ago that Ewers was going to get his job back. I mean, Ewers has been set up. He came back to try and win a national championship. I think he's upperclassman. I think he's a junior, redshirt junior, right? But he came back. The whole Heisman hype, he's been one of the players that's been built around. When he on the cover of NCAA 25?
They have multiple players. Yeah,
he was standing just to the left of Dono.
Yeah, it was Donovan from Michigan, and the quarterback from Georgia.
Who ironically is also our second best running back.
Facts.
Yeah, okay. But yeah,
Texas' second best quarterback and Michigan's second best running back were on the cover of that.
But it's been set up. We talking about boosters, NIL money, everything. It's not like Quinn Ewers is coming in taking Arch Manning's job. The Texas was undefeated and still undefeated, but undefeated before Arch Manning got in. Arch Manning is just waiting his turn. It happens, man. I mean, he gets to ride the whole thing next year as far as run the gamut and take Texas to whatever they're going to do. But this year, it's all about Quinn Ewers. And if Quinn Ewers is not looking good, not playing well, then maybe they go to Arch. They're just not going to keep Arch in the starting position when everything this year, they push the chips all in on this Quinn Ewers final season.
If Ewers loses to Oklahoma, Arch will start the rest of the season. I promise you. Texas, if Ewers loses to Oklahoma, Arch Manning will start the rest of the season at quarterback.
I can believe that if he loses.
So it's all in. It's all in. And Ewers, and outside of Mod, real Texas fans will tell you, Ewers does not operate under pressure. He's not that guy. He doesn't play well. No, he doesn't pay. I've talked to real Texas fans, boosters and everything. His psyche is not built for that. He hides behind that stuff. He doesn't like that stuff. So where Arch is the guy is going to look dudes in the face and say, look, dog, we about to win. I don't care what you're talking about.
I have a sneaking suspicion Pay has something to say here.
Oh, he does. But he don't. I mean, I've been talking to Texas people all week. I'll probably talk to at least 100 of them. Go ahead, Pay.
You started the show with the word of the hour, hyperbolic, right? And right on cue. One, this will not be the Texas coach worst mistake of his life. Because the biggest mistake of his life is letting his wife get away from him. Because, oh my God, she is back in fuego.
That might be bigger facts, because I agree, because she was a smoke show. That's facts.
Two, Quentin Ewers. How many big games do you have to win for you to until you stop saying he's scared of the light? I mean, he's won some big games, right?
No. The only big game Quinn Ewers has won, he won last year. No, he won this year against Michigan. Last year in the Final Four, he lost. Oklahoma State, anybody could beat them because they can't pass the ball. No, I'm sorry. He beat Alabama last year, and he beat Michigan this year.
Thank you.
There's one.
Okay.
He won two big games, but he's lost more
both
big games.
On the road.
Right. He's
impressive.
lost. He's 1-2 against Oklahoma. What do you mean? He's 1-2 against Oklahoma.
So lost one big game.
So if I hear you correctly, he's won 3 big games. Arch Manning has won none, right?
He lost in the Final Four. He lost twice against Oklahoma. That's 3. He's won 2. He beat Michigan and he beat Bama. So he's 2-3 in big games to me. Because the Big 12 championship against Oklahoma State, we could have lined up with 7 other guys and beat Oklahoma State if we could pass the ball.
A conference championship is a big game.
Oklahoma State is trash. No,
right, okay,
no.
But I do want to agree with you on this one take, though, G. I do think Texas is the line for Texas is too high. We was doing our pay dirt Wednesday. The line was 14.5.
Yeah,
I couldn't convince B to come to the Sooner side with me. I think Texas' schedule so far has been a little easy. I don't think they've been tested. I think Oklahoma is better than what they present, and definitely better than being a 14.5 point dog at the crib. I think that game's gonna be a little close. I agree with you there, G. But as far as everything else,
Oklahoma's
Arch Manning, he's gonna have plenty of time to learn.
He's gonna have what?
Arch Manning's gonna have plenty of time to learn next year.
Hey, the coach better not fumble this issue, because guess what Arch Manning will do?
All right.
There's this thing that's called NIL and portal. Trust me, he's a Manning.
And he's making $3 million already. Tate, I do have homework for you, man. I hate giving you more things because I know you do a lot of podcasts, got a lot of stuff going on. But I got some homework. We need the Matrix graphic is fantastic. For G, though, we need a hyperbolic chamber graphic. If you can work on that, I think that'll be clutch. We'll put him in that when he gets too hyperbolic.
That's big trash.
So I'm gonna go through.
Oh, before we go too far, sorry, B, sorry to cut you off, but I gotta get this in. Before we go too far, put me on the receipt. Quentin Ewers will be a first-round draft pick, and I'll put corner time on it.
If he lose this game and he lose to Georgia, he ain't gonna be no first-round draft pick because he ain't gonna be playing. Because you know they got Oklahoma and Georgia back to back.
Shedeur Sanders ain't won a big game in his career, and he's going to be a first-round draft pick. It does not matter. It does not matter.
I bet you corner time Shedeur go before Ewers. I bet that.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I got that, too. Yes, I agree. Shedeur is going to be a top-5 player.
The boy ain't played a big game in his life. This is the biggest game he's going to play against Kansas State this weekend.
Yeah, probably lose.
Big G, would you like to take in a quarter time bet, you or Tate?
For what?
For Ewers being a first round draft choice?
No, because he could play his way to the number 1 pick if he gets off the next 2 games, and that's very true.
He's going to be a number 1 pick.
How are you going hyperbolic from one side to the other side?
Because he can. If he gets off against,
he just flipped over in the hyperbolic chamber.
If he blows out Oklahoma and they tear Georgia's behind up and he's the quarterback, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He wins the Heisman Trophy, and he will be a first-round draft pick. But if he loses against Oklahoma, he's probably not going to start against Georgia, and he's going to have a short lease. So I'm not taking the bet because I can see it going either way. That's not hyperbolic. That's saying I see both sides of the coin.
All right.
It can go either way.
You're right. That's not hyperbolic. It's hedging. You're right.
Correct.
Hold on a second. I don't think Ewers is a first-round draft pick. I got 15 minutes corner time on her with you. On the receipt. I was just letting anybody else get some of their time in there if they wanted. That was the one thing I agree with G about. I don't think it's first round.
There's so many quarterbacks that aren't first round talents that get picked in the first round, man.
Hey, man! I'm just saying. I don't think there's going to be as many jobs as there was this past year trying to get filled. I'm just, I'm calling him second rounder. All right, so I'm gonna read off some of my favorite games from the next 3 weeks, and I want you to tell me. Week 7, 8, or 9, which one are you looking forward to the most and why? What game specifically? So week 7 in this week's college slate, we got OSU at Oregon 2 versus 3.
Ooh.
We got Ole Miss at LSU, a Baton Rouge night game 9 versus 13. We got Penn State, number 4, goes across the country to battle USC.
Oh.
We got number 1, Texas, at number 18, Oklahoma in Dallas, Jerry World. Then we go for week 8. The following week, we go number 5, Georgia, at number 1, Texas in Austin. We go number 7, Bama, at number 8, Tennessee.
Oh.
I like this game, even though one of them's not ranked. Number 6, Miami at Louisville. Then the following week, week 9, we got number 21, Mizzou at Bama. We got number 18, Oklahoma at number 9, Ole Miss. And we got number 13, LSU, and number 15, Texas A&M. Big slate in the SEC. Which one you got, 7, 8, or 9? I'm going to let you go first, G. Tell me what week you got.
Week 7. The game tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. The game tomorrow at 7:30 p.m.
Homer call.
Hey, you can say it all you want to. The game tomorrow, I'll bet corner time on this.
Hit the buy sign.
If Ohio State pops Oregon, they're going to be number 1 in the country.
Hey.
Now, can Texas get it back? Can Texas get it back? Absolutely. Texas can get it back when they play Georgia the next week. But they're going to be number 1.
G, did you listen to Did you listen to Pater this week?
No, sir.
I said Oregon has been winning with quarterback play and speed. They're going against a team now that at the skilled positions can keep up with them speed wise, but I don't think Oregon can handle them in the trenches, defensive line or offensive line.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I took Ohio State to cover.
Ohio State can go to Eugene and prove that they're the number one team in the country. They go out there and win by plus 10, they're the number one team in the country. Texas can get it back. If they blow Georgia out or beat Georgia by 10 in Georgia, they can. But I don't see them going in reverse after this. So I look forward to that game, even though I know some of these other games are huge. And y'all can say I'm a homer and all, whatever else. This is just Ohio State's ability. This Ohio State's ability to plant the flag and say we are the best team in the country. Number one team in the country.
All right, Tate, do you agree with them? Week 7, or you got week 8 or week 9?
I got week 7, and it's just because Ohio State and Oregon is one of the games. I mean, not because of that game, but you also got the Red River rivalry. You got Penn State, USC. You got some other good ones.
Ole Miss, LSU at night.
Ole Miss, LSU. You got Arizona, BYU should be a good one. Upset alert, Florida at Tennessee. I'm just saying. I'm not calling it. I'm just saying.
Colorado, Kansas State too. That's going to be a good game. Really good game.
Colorado. I'm just going. Oh, LSU, West Virginia. Another upset alert.
LSU, West Virginia.
Yeah.
No, sir. LSU, Ole Miss is this week.
Yeah, correct.
You're talking about the following week on the 19th.
Iowa State, West Virginia. Upset alert. Minnesota's going to beat UCLA. And and like you said, Big G, Kansas State and Colorado. I mean, so I can't keep up with what's weeks 8 and 9 are. I'm all in for tomorrow.
Ooh, that's a good attitude to have. That's a good attitude to have. So personally, I like 2 of the games in week 8 better. I like the Georgia-Texas game a little bit better. I like the Bama-Tennessee game. I think that one could be electric as far as just playing an old game of Pong. Remember the old Atari Pong? I could just go back and forth all day.
B, can I ask you a favor, though? Can I ask you a favor? Is Bama overrated? They lost to Vanderbilt.
To be continued.
Okay.
That kid, but the quarterback at Vanderbilt played a game of his life, and weird things happen in football. It's an oblong ball, it bounces out.
So if Ohio State would have lost to Northwestern, what would they have done to Ohio State?
Oh, they would have dropped him farther. I've seen that argument from you and bloviating, but regardless, I get why, because the week before they beat the number 1 team, Georgia. So I get it. Trap game is letdown game, or whatever we call it. But I'm not going to pick week 8. I'm going to pick week 7, and only for one reason. With all those really great games on the slate, my team's on a bye week. So I can just sit back, flip channels. I'm not traveling to Michigan. I'm not traveling to Seattle, Washington to watch them. I'm just going to sit back, put my feet up, and sit there with 2 clickers watching TV. Boop, 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 boop. I'm going to love every second of it. So I agree with you guys. Week 7. Pay, which one do you like?
Pay is adios. He adios muchachos. He lost. He probably, his flight might have said, you get bored.
Hey, might have the board. Hey, listen, I appreciate him even getting on. Getting on here, man. That's some commitment. Some commitment coming from a guy who just missed 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
No HR, no problems. All right. Listen, man, Tate, you got any Tate's takes? You got any party comments you want to hit the people with on the way out?
Well, I was just waiting patiently. I just wanted to give my 2 cents in on the whole gentleman's sweep in the WNBA.
Oh, let it rip.
I'm just thinking, man, that it's not a gentleman's sweep because it's a whole bunch of guys, right? So I don't think there needs to be another version or it needs to change. I just think it's still if it's a 3-1 sweep in a series, that's a gentleman's sweep, right? That's how I look at it. I wouldn't change a thing. If the Liberty come back and win 3-1, and next year the WNBA finals are going to be
going to 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the 3-game series is going to go 1-1-1 instead of 2-1. They also announced that.
I think that's a good thing too, because as you have it now, the team with home court advantage can just win their first 2 games, and the team that never gets to get a chance to play on their home court.
They're making more money. That travel doesn't matter.
Right.
They pay those bills.
I agree. We've been saying that all year. What was it? It was cash cowing. They got the cash cow.
Oh, come on.
The big cheddar.
Come on,
but yeah, man. I just wanted to say that I think gentleman's sweep is a gentleman's sweep, regardless of gender or whatever sport it's in. It's a 3-1 sweep. Is a gentleman's sweep, or it's 4-1 in the best of 7.
Correct. 3-1 would be appropriate for the WNBA playing a 5-game series, though.
Right.
A 3-1 would be appropriate for, say, the Mets beating the Phillies in a divisional round. That would be a gentleman's sweep.
It looks like, just update. It looks like the Padres are going to go down. Well, right now it's 2-0 in the bottom of the 8th. The Dodgers are up. Teoscar Hernandez in the home run last inning put them up 2-0. It was 1-0 for the longest. Darvish was rolling.
See, I think if the Dodgers get past the Padres, Major League Baseball is looking at it with a big smile, because now you got New York and LA on one side playing. You got New York and Cleveland playing on the other side. Or Detroit. You got to have one of, like, you're going to have a good matchup, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Uh-oh. Congrats, B and Jess. You're welcome here anytime. Thank you so much, Tim. Tim's hospitality was only outmatched by his ribs. Man, guy can work a smoker, gentlemen. I'm here to tell you. Little secret on the rub on his ribs. It was really, really good. I'm not gonna give it away.
When's the last time you guys saw each other?
Man, it's probably 20 years.
That long?
Close to it, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, we see each other's ugly mugs on the camera every week.
Right. I just mean in person.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, it was awesome. It was a great trip out there. We appreciate everybody and appreciate everybody's great comments, both online and in the chat and everything else. Thank you guys very much. Big G, you got a burner for us on the way out. There's a lot of stuff going on this weekend, and it got to be something you got a hot take about.
I think that South Carolina has a legitimate chance to upset Alabama tomorrow at 12.
Hey yo.
I think that
is South Carolina quarterback back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think that
they haven't looked very good without him.
Right. I think South Carolina has a legitimate shot. I think the reason why is because South Carolina, there's 2 teams in the SEC that have legitimate defensive lines. South Carolina is one of them. Texas A&M is the other one. They have legitimate defensive lines. Their defensive lines, they got 3 and 4 kids that's going to be playing on Sundays, and probably 2 that's going to be first-round NFL draft picks on both Texas A&M and South Carolina. And I think that Alabama struggles, Milrose struggles when a team is super athletic and chase him around. Milrose's fame is he can throw the ball deep to Williams, and it's all she wrote, because Williams and Jeremiah Smith are freakishly good super freshmen, probably best 1-2 receivers in the country. But I think if Milroe has to sustain a drive, 12 plays, 13 plays, 9 plays, 10 plays, he can't do it. And Alabama has not shown me that they can run the ball yet. So that plays into South Carolina's hand. The issue is South Carolina sort of got to play takeaway with them. So can South Carolina sustain a running game against them? I think they have the defensive backs to match up well against Williams. And I think the longer the game stays close, the better chance that Bama has. I mean, that South Carolina has. So I give South Carolina a puncher's chance to beat Bama. I really do. I think it'll be a very close game, a lot closer than what a lot of people think.
Big G, who's Pitt play tomorrow?
I'm not sure. I'm not, but you know what? Pitt is underrated. Pitt is an underrated football team. Pitt is very good.
Hold on. Pitt is a 2.5-point favorite against Cal at home.
Yeah, Cal's main running back is out.
I took Pitt.
Yeah. Pitt should realistically be in the conversation about them playing the Hurricanes in the ACC championship game. Absolutely. Pitt is a legitimate team. So we'll see as it goes down because the schedule gets harder for them. But yeah, that's my burner. I just really believe that South Carolina is going to give Alabama a lot of fits.
Okay. Your boy Smith, who you also have a receipt over here, saying that he is going to be first team All-American, is right now 33rd in receiving yards in the country, tied for 33rd.
Jeremiah Smith?
Yep.
Jeremiah Smith's going to be first team All-American.
He's tied for 33rd in receiving yards right now.
I'm telling you right now, he's going to be first team All-American.
Williams is 13th in the country. And that kid Harris from Ole Miss is leading the country right now, 885 yards. He got a 170-yard lead.
Trust me, B. Just keep playing. Jeremiah Smith is the best receiver in the country today. He's better than anybody else that's playing. He's better than Mecca Buku, who's a first-round draft pick on his team.
His stats don't say that, though.
Because they don't force the ball to him, and he don't play a lot of third and fourth quarters.
How many touchdowns he got, though?
He's going to break Chris Carter's record. If he gets 2 against Oregon, he breaks Chris Carter's
record.
No,
he has
5. He has 6 touchdowns.
According to ESPN right now. No. I looked at the wrong number. It's 6. It's hard. I'm old. I'm going to get the glasses shined up here. It's 6.
He breaks Chris Carter's record with 2 against Oregon. And he's going to break Chris Carter's receiving yards as a freshman at Ohio State. He's going to break that record too. He's the best receiver in the country. It's not even close. If you watch college football,
there's a lot of really good numbers on here, though, man.
I understand that, but the guy at Ole Miss, no, get him out of here. Now that Williams kid, yeah. Well, that Williams kid is a real deal.
Smith even quoted as saying one day this week that him and the kid at Alabama are the best receivers in the country.
They are.
Hunter right now has 130 more yards than him and is tied with touchdowns.
Travis Hunter is the real deal. I'm not taking that away from him. Travis Hunter is the real deal.
Felton from Maryland's got 642 with 5 touchdowns.
AFL 67. I can get in the crates and dig that one up.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the kid's the best wide receiver in the country. It's not even close. It's not even close. It really is not close. And I'm talking about the experts are saying that, not just me. The experts are saying it.
I mean, he might be the most talented, but he ain't having the best year, that's for sure.
Because he's got with Emeka Egbuka. And he don't play in the third quarter.
Emeka Egbuka is behind him in yards.
No, Emeka Egbuka is beating him in yardage. You're looking at the wrong stats, dog.
No. Where we at?
I'm telling you, he's beating him in
yardage. Emeka Egbuka's got 433. Smith has 453. That one I'm not fat thumbing.
I don't know about that. How many more touchdowns has Egbuka got than him?
No, -1.
Okay. So
Egbuka's got 5.
So Emeka Egbuka is a first-round NFL draft pick playing on the same team with a kid.
I'm not saying that Smith isn't going to be a first-round draft pick. I'm just saying if you're 33rd in yardage, you're not going to be a number 1 first-team All-American.
I'll bet corner time right now he's a first-team All-American.
You already did.
With you? I bet it.
I have no idea who it is. I think it might be everybody.
I'll bet it right now with you.
Let's see who's on here.
I'll bet it right now with you. right now that Jeremiah Smith is a first-team All-American. First-team All-American. He's that good, man. And I'm not just saying that because I'm.
No, he is bloviated.
I've never seen a kid like him before, ever.
Oh, I mean, he's a freak of nature as far as athlete goes.
I've never seen a kid like him,
especially at his age. But I mean,
Utah great play somebody at 10:30.
Listen, I told you how good J.J. McCarthy was last year, but he didn't throw the ball, so he wasn't going to be first-team All-American. You guys got great running backs too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But he's going to make so many spectacular catches, and his yard by the end of the season, the kid will end up somewhere around 1,200, 1,300 yards. He's going to end up with probably 14 or 15 touchdowns. It's going to be no denying it. It's like, okay, I'm watching the film. I'm seeing what he did against Oregon and what he did against Penn State and what he did against Nebraska and what he did against Michigan. This kid is a beast.
All right. The chat is making me hungry. We got to get out of here, man.
Facts.
Which one of you guys wants to take it home?
Tate, you want me to do it? I appreciate everybody rocking with us, the Homies Overtime Podcast. Thanks for rocking with us with the Homies Podcast before you came over here, and we appreciate all you people rocking with us. Make sure you swing over Sundays and check me, Tate Boy Fresh, and Mod out on the Know It Alls Podcast. We'll have the college football recap and the Sunday NFL recap as well. Make sure you go throughout the week and watch all the shows on Steel Curtain Network, including Pump Your Brakes, including Shannon over on The Hangover on Monday. All the shows on Steel Curtain Network. Make sure you listen to the B-Dirt Show, the Bear Claw, Pay Dirt, all the things he's on. Make sure you rock with Payday over on the Bears channels. We do a lot of things on Fans First Sports Network and on Steel Curtain Network. So we appreciate all you guys rocking with us because you can spend your time anywhere, but you spend your time with us, and we really, really, really appreciate it.
Last thing I want to say before we head out. Let's see. Nope. This side. If you guys are all on YouTube, you see this hat back here, that pink hat. I got my pink ribbon up here. It's October is Cancer Awareness Month, and my mother is a breast cancer survivor. I think everybody's been hit by it from somewhere here or there. I lost a friend of mine. Tim and I did that we went to high school with to battle as well just yesterday. So, and man, it's a tough, it's a really tough thing to watch people go through, people you love and the people they leave. So, man, let's just keep pushing towards the cure. Cancer awareness. If you got an extra dime, now's the time to pony it up. October is that month. So if you can donate $5 or $10, please do. We'll be out of here. See you next week, next Friday here. Wednesday, you can catch Pay Dirt as always. We'll be back here next Friday with the homies rocking with us. I believe we'll have all four of us next week. So back to normal, man. But lock up Brett Favre, and we out.